Hey guys, and welcome to another energy update. In today's video, we're going to be talking all about the planet Mars. And Mars is going retrograde and why you need to be aware of this and what to look out for, what to do during this time, because Mars will be retrograde from October 30th through January 12th. So Mars actually doesn't go retrograde as often as some of the other planets. It's usually about every 2 years. Can maybe a little bit longer, maybe like 24, 26 months. However, when it does, it might be retrograde a couple months. So let's talk about what you need to know and what happens when Mars goes retrograde. So first, I'll talk about what the planet Mars stands for. So each planet either resonates with a feminine energy or a masculine energy. So Mars actually resonates with the masculine energy. So this is a big action taker energy. This is your willpower, your determination. It has a lot of motivation energy with it. It's physical energy. Mars can actually help us a lot because it gets things going. It pushes us. It has that drive. It wants us to succeed. And so it has a momentum energy of like, let's go, let's get things going. So Mars will keep pushing you to achieve success, to achieve more, right? Now, sometimes when that happens, we might be looking at this from a different perspective and be going, oh, things are so hard and there's so much pressure and I can't get things done because the ball is moving and it's rolling and it's fast, but Mars is trying to get us where we need to be, right? So things that can come happen with the shadow side of Mars is a lot of emotions, right? Maybe aggression, maybe anger, stuff like that can come out as well. So there's always a light and a dark side with each planet, so stuff to be aware of. So let's talk about some stuff that's going to happen with this retrograde. Now, most people think that like when Mars goes retrograde, it's a time to like stop. Let's not do anything. Let's not start anything new. Let's go within. Let's rest. Like it's too difficult. It's too much, right? But listen, Mars goes retrograde for a reason. And we're not in the winter solstice yet, so we're not going inward yet. It's not time to completely halt everything. There's still a lot of expansion energy prevalent right now, especially in eclipse season. Oh, just with the moons, there's a lot going on, especially with Scorpio season. So this isn't a time to give up. When something you get triggered and heavy emotions are coming up, it's a time to deal with them. So I would say during this time, you might even have some hidden anger come up. It can be some unconscious energy, but again, I always talk about like, why does it come up? Why does it come up to the surface? Because it wants to be released, so it needs to be addressed during this time. So if all of a sudden you're like flying off the handle and you're losing your temper and you're feeling really aggravated and irritated and angry, sure, you want to blame Mars? Okay, but Mars is trying to do you a favor so you can address this unconscious hidden energy so you can release it, okay? So there will be times during Mars retrograde to rest and recharge if it's becoming too much. We don't want to be going against the grain too much. We're just like, I'm going to do it anyways. I'm going to get it done and like keep pushing through, right? Because if we're sacrificing either our mental health or emotional stability and stuff like that just to like get it done, it's almost like trying to prove a point to Mars. And it's like working against it. So when things come up, it's okay to like take a break, take 5, take a day, work through those emotions, process it, and then you can come back to it later. So here's what not to do. Most people, they want to throw in the towel during this time, and it's like it's a very heavy energy. It can be challenging, but what you really needs to be done, because okay, let me give you an example. So let's say you were gonna like start a new project. Some people may say, well, Mars retrograde is not the time to do that. However, I disagree, because what I feel is what happens is it's a time to maybe reflect on how you're going to do it. Maybe some reevaluations, especially even if it's something that's inexistent, right? Oh, even if you have a business or a project you're working on, all of a sudden it starts crumbling down, it's not working out, then it is a good time to reevaluate, revisit it, make some tweaks, like find another solution, like staying solution focused during this time. But if you're like, okay, I can't launch this, it's too hard. No, take the moment, take some deep breaths, walk away, find another solution. So if you're trying to do something again, it's like you're going against the grain, it's not working, well, it's time to reevaluate, it's time to reassess. It's not time to say, okay, I'm not going to launch this project now. It's just to find another route, it's find another solution. So a couple things I do want to talk about is make sure that we do honor that self-care during this time, because a lot of heavy emotions might be going on, especially with the anger, which might relate with the root chakra, right? So all this stuff, repressed stuff might be coming on. I would also like to highlight there might be some delays. There might be some obstacles, right? There might be things aren't panning out the way that you thought. but that doesn't mean we have to give up. A delay is not a no, never stop, I'm done. A delay is like, hold on, let me reroute and find a detour, okay? So when these obstacles come in, it's just, how can I work through the obstacle? Staying solution focused, like I talked about, so we can get to the other side, okay? So deep breathing can be really good at this time. Also, the action energy is really strong with the Mars energy. And so you might want to take a look at where you need to take action in your life and how you're taking action. Because if you've been taking all these action steps and nothing's panning out, you might want to reevaluate, okay, well, maybe I'll take this action step versus that action step, right? So a lot of action energy, because Mars still wants us to win and wants us to move us forward, but sometimes we have to take 2 steps back to go 10 steps forward. And so allow that energy to be there and start addressing it the way it needs to be, right? And so, okay, well, this didn't work. It's like I got plan A, B, and C. Well, if they didn't work, I'll go to B, then I'll go to C. Like having a few backups can be good at this time. So this way we don't get burnout. We don't like lose control of our emotions. So making sure that we're in alignment, right, with the Mars energy. So even journaling can be good at this time to release some of these heavier emotions that might be going on. So this is stuff I definitely want to just kind of highlight about like what's going on during this Mars retrograde. But what I'd also like to do is do a quick pick a card. So this will be your Mars retrograde message. So we're just going to do a 3-card pick. I want you guys to decide on a number between 1 and 3. And whichever number you decide will be will be a reading, right? That'll be the strongest message for you. So let's get card 1. Okay, so we have Aquarius, and it says, I know. So what I want to say here is, right, if we're working with that Mars energy, and it's like, I know better, I know this, I know that, you can't tell me, like, we won't want to have this, like, know-it-all syndrome, because it feels very combative with Mars energies, because Mars may be trying to teach you another way, right? It's not just all the way over here left. Maybe Mars wants you to go all the way over here right. And so if we have this, I know what I'm doing, like, leave me alone, and we have that control issue, we might want to, oh, okay, let me take a step back here. Take a breath. Like, maybe I don't have it all figured out. Maybe I don't know everything. And it's very interesting because on this card, it's 23. And if you add 2 and 3 together, that equals 5, right? And so 5s are all about change. And that may be the key to break through to the other side, is the change going, maybe I don't have it all figured out and I don't know. And so let me redirect my energy somewhere else, okay? All right, so if you chose card 2, then this is your Mars retrograde. Okay. Message. You have 2 cards. So we have Cancer and we have Saturn. So Cancer is going to be all about feeling, and Saturn is going to be all about truth. I honestly feel that this is more about honoring your feelings and your truth. So when things are coming up, don't suppress them, right? So if you're getting all these emotions and anger and frustrated, like we were talking about earlier, it's a time to feel them and address them versus suppressing them. I feel the huge energy with these 2 cards of like sweeping stuff under the rug, like I'll deal with it later, like not honoring your truth. And so what's going to happen is if we keep sweeping all the emotions under the rug, eventually it's going to fly off the handle, and it's going to be 10 times more of explosive energy than just dealing with that moment of anger or rage or whatever's going on. It's like the anger would turn into rage. So it's honoring your truth, right? And so if you're upset in that moment, like, I'm upset, but why am I upset? And get to the root cause, so then you can release it. So be careful, card 2, not to be suppressing emotions at this time. And if you chose card 3, beautiful. All right. So card 3, we have, ooh, lunar eclipse change. Well, that's powerful because we are in eclipse season. We just had the solar eclipse, so then comes the lunar eclipse. So here it is. Everlasting changes. Have this be your building blocks for tomorrow. Sure, work with the eclipses, work with the moon, and maybe you've been getting a bunch of downloads since then. This is what it kind of feels like, because there's a lot of moons in this card. So a lot of things may be coming into the light. You might be realizing a lot of things. So you may be really feeling the pull around this moon. However, have this just be the beginning, right? It's not the whole story yet. So with the moon energy and the lunar eclipse, have this be a time to build your foundation, okay? So then you can have these everlasting changes. A lot of people get stuck on the outcome, the end goal, and how do I get there? But they forget to build that base foundation. And so you might be getting a lot of awareness around this lunar eclipse on what to do and next action steps, right? And so that's almost building the foundational energy. But this foundation needs to be built first. And then it's like we're working towards, remember how we talked about launching a project, right? Maybe working towards launching a project, but it's like the building blocks that lead to a better tomorrow. So take this energy with you over this retrograde season so you can keep building and building and building and then get back in that forward momentum energy, right? Okay. All right, card 3. That is your reading, and that wraps up all the readings for today. So if you guys got anything out of this video, do me a favor with that thumbs up button. This way I know you got something that resonated. You guys haven't already subscribed to my channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button. There's a bell too. I want you to hit the bell and turn on all notifications. I don't want you guys to miss out on any upcoming messages. That next message just might be the message that you need to hear today. All right, my loves. Thanks so much for watching. Until next time, be blessed.